In this video, we'll talk about how we can perform the selection operation on rows and columns of a data set in Python using Pandas library. So as in the previous video, we have already seen that how we can create our own data set using Pandas library of Python. So now in this particular video, we'll perform the selection operation on rows and columns of the data set. So let's get started with the video now. Now to perform selection operation on rows and columns, we use indexers. So this selection operation can also be referred as indexing. Now here is the list of indexers which we use to perform the selection or indexing operation on a data set. So we'll see all the indexers one by one along with practical implementation as well. So the first indexer is a square bracket, and it is basically used to select the columns by passing a single column name or list of columns within these square brackets. So let's see how to implement this indexer practically. So here I have just opened the file in Spyder IDE. Now just save this file. Alright, so the file has been successfully saved. Now here one more thing to do is we have to change the current working directory to a folder where our data set is present. So here as you can notice that I have changed the current working directory since I have already created a folder named Python in this directory. So I have moved to that particular location now, and within the same folder here is my data set, that is hospital data set, which I am going to use over here. So it is a very important point to note over here is that your file, that means your Python file, and the data set on which you are going to work should be present in the same folder. Alright, now I'll just come to the Python file. Now here the first step is to import the necessary libraries. So here we will need the Pandas library. So just write the instruction import space pandas as pd. Now here I have just renamed the library. So in the further instructions, I'm not going to use the entire name of that library, that is pandas. I'm going to refer it with the name which I have given over here, that is pd. Now next instruction is to read the data set. So for that, I'll use the method of pandas library, that is read_csv, since our data set is in .csv format. So that is why I will use this function, or we can say a method. So just take one variable. Now here I have taken the variable name as dataset equals to pd, that is the pandas library, dot read_csv. Now within this method I'll pass the name of the dataset. So my dataset name is hospital_dataset dot csv. Here you have to specify the extension as well, that is .csv. Now let's try to implement the first indexer, that is square brackets over here, in order to perform selection. So first we'll see how we can select a single column from a data set. So let's first check out that which column names are present in our data set. So suppose if I want to select name of state column only, so first take one variable. So here I have given the variable name as col1, it's a user defined variable, equals to data set, that is the variable which is holding the data set, right? In subscripts, within quotes, specify the name of the column which you want to select. So suppose if I want to select name of state, so I have passed the column name over here, and now print this column by using print in bracket variable name, that is col1. Now just save this file and run the code in order to see the output. So here in the output, as you can see, it is showing the column which we have selected, that is name of state. But one thing you have to note here is that even though if you do not specify the index values, but still it will be shown by default when you will run the code. So it's just a selection of a single column, but we can also select multiple columns by using the square brackets. So how we can do it, let's see. So here I am directly printing the multiple columns over here without storing it within a variable. So print in bracket data set within subscript. Now this first subscript, or we can say square bracket, is nothing but the indexer. And the second subscript which we are going to take within this first subscript is nothing but the list which is going to hold all the names of the columns which you want to show. So suppose if I want to show name of state and number of hospitals which are present in a data set, so I'll just pass the list of these columns over here by separating it with comma, and now run this file. So here is the output. It is showing two columns, that is name of state and number of hospitals, instead of a single column. Now the second indexer which we are going to use in order to perform the selection operation is .loc. So this indexer selects the data according to the labels of rows and columns in a data set. Now this is quite different as compared to the first indexer which we have seen. So here what we need to do is we need to pass the labels instead of positions over here, or we can say numeric indexes over here. So let's see how to implement it practically. Now here just observe the data set which I have taken. It is containing the fields, or we can say columns, as serial number, name of state, number of hospitals and number of beds. So by default the indexes starts from 0 so on up to n, that means the number of rows which are present in the data set. So in this data set the indexes are not shown, but by default it starts from 0. Alright? But it is very difficult to remember the index if we have thousands of rows within our data set. But if we know the label of a particular row, then we can easily fetch the records of that row. So here we have to first change the indexes, that is instead of 0, 1, 2 and so on up to n. What we'll do is we'll make one of the column as the index column, so that on the basis of the labels which are present in that index column, we will be able to fetch the records of the entire row. So how we can do that? Let's see. So here I am going to set the index field as the name of state. So for that, just take one variable. So here I have taken the variable name as dataset1 equals to dataset, that means the variable which is holding our original dataset, dot set underscore index. Now within this method, just pass the name of column which you want to set as the index column. So this is the way by using which you can change the current index from the numerical value to the string values. So here in this case, instead of 0, 1, 2 so on up to n, what we have done is we have set the index field as the name of state. Now if you want to check how the data set looks, so just print this data set by using print in bracket dataset1. Now just run this code. So here in the output, as you can see, instead of index values, that is 0, 1, 2 so on up to n, it is showing the index field as the name of state. So now we'll perform the first operation, that is selecting a single row using .loc indexer. So just take one variable. So I have taken the variable name as row1 equals to dataset1 .loc. In subscripts, I have passed the name of label. So suppose if from the data set I want to select the data of state Maharashtra, so now I can directly pass that label over here. So it will show the rows from the data set by finding the label name as Maharashtra over here. Now just print this variable, that is row1, by using print in bracket row1. Now just run this code. So here in the output, it is showing only a single row. Since our data set is containing only a single label name as Maharashtra, that is why it is showing only a single row over here. Now by using the same indexer, that is .loc, we can also select multiple rows. So just take print. Now here I am not taking the variable, I am directly printing the statement. So print in bracket dataset1 .loc. In subscripts, we'll take one more subscript, that is the list where we are going to take more than one labels. So here I have taken the first label as Maharashtra, and separating it with comma, I'll take one more label. So I'm taking the label name as Goa. Now just save this file and run the code. So here it is showing the output. Now instead of a single row, it has returned two rows over here as per the labels which we have passed, that is Maharashtra and Goa. Now with the help of .loc indexer, we can not only select the rows, but we can also select the combination of rows and columns. So suppose if I'll write dataset.loc, so it takes two parameters. The first parameter is the rows and the second parameter is the columns. So let's see one example over here. So in order to select some rows and some columns, we'll see the example. So just take print in bracket dataset1 dot loc within subscript. Now as I have told that the first parameter will be rows and the second parameter will be columns. So suppose if I want to select multiple rows over here, so I'll just pass the list of labels over here. So I'm taking the labels as Maharashtra and Goa. Now separating it with comma, the second parameter of .loc is nothing but the columns which we want to show. So suppose if I want to show only a single column, so within subscript, I'll pass the name of the column which I want to show. So here I have taken the column name as number of hospitals. Now just run this code. So here it is showing the output. The name of states which we have taken as labels are shown here along with the number of hospitals. Now next example which we are going to see is selecting all rows and some columns using .loc indexer. So for that, just type print in bracket dataset1 .loc within subscript. Now it is quite different as compared to the previous example which we have seen. Now this time we do not have any restriction on the number of rows which we are going to display over here. Then in that case, there is no need to specify the list. Just specify the single colon over here as the first parameter and separating it with comma, we want to show some columns. So it depends on the condition that how many columns we want to show over here. So here I am taking the two column names, that is number of hospitals and number of beds. And I have taken both these column names within list. Now just run this code. So here in the output, it is showing the two columns along with the name of state. Now let's see the example of a vice versa condition which we have seen right now. That means selecting some rows and all columns using .loc. So just take the print statement over here. So print in bracket dataset1 .loc. Now this time the first parameter is the number of rows which we want to show. So I'll just take the labels over here and separating it with comma. The second parameter as per the condition, that is we want to select all the columns. So that is why just specify the colon over here. Now just run this file. So here in the output, as you can observe, it is showing all the column names along with the two rows which we have selected within first parameter. Now next case which we'll see is selecting all rows and all columns using .loc. Now here there is no need to pass any kind of list for showing rows or columns. We'll just pass colon in place of both the parameters. So print in bracket dataset.loc within subscript colon comma colon. That means all rows and all columns. So after running this file, it is showing the output by selecting all rows and all columns which are present in a dataset. Now the next indexer which is used for this selection purpose is .iloc. So here I is implying the index only, that is it does not consider the labels of rows and columns. What it do is it only selects the rows and columns on the basis of the index values, that is the numerical values. So let's see the practical implementation of .iloc indexer. So selecting a single row using .iloc. So just take print in bracket dataset.iloc. Within subscript, we have to pass the index value. So here I am passing the index value as 7. Now just run this code. So here in the output, as you can see, it is showing the row which is at the position 7. Alright. Now next example is selecting multiple rows using .iloc. So for that, just take print in bracket dataset1.iloc. In bracket, just specify the index values over here. So I have given the index values as 3, 7, 9. So all the rows which are present at this position will be selected. Now just run this file. So here is the output. It is showing 3 rows over here according to the index values which we have specified. Now next example is to select some rows and some columns using .iloc. So just take print and in bracket dataset.iloc. Now it is exactly same as the previous indexer, that is LOC, which we have seen. That is, it accepts the first parameter as rows and the second parameter as columns. But the difference is that we can only pass the integer values as indexes over here within .iloc. So within the first subscript, I am passing the index values as 3, 9. That means the rows which are at the position 3 and 9 will be selected. And the second parameter is the column indexes. So here also, instead of names of columns, we have to specify the positions of these columns. So here in the data set, suppose if I want to show name of state and number of hospitals. So this serial number is at 0th position, name of state is at 1st position, number of hospitals is at 2nd position and number of beds is at 3rd position. So suppose if I want to show name of state and number of hospitals, so here in the code, I'll just pass the index values as 1, 2. So if we run this code, it is showing the output as name of state along with number of hospitals and number of beds. Now the next example is selecting all rows and some columns using .iloc. So as in the previous case, we have already seen that if we want to show all rows, so we use colon over here. So just type print in bracket dataset1 or dataset, any variable you can take over here, .iloc. Within subscript, we have to pass the first parameter as colon, since here we want to select all the rows which are present in the dataset. And the second parameter is the columns. So here, suppose if I want to show 2 columns, so I'm going to take the list of columns according to the index values. Now if I run this code, so it is showing the output, that is the index values along with the serial number and number of beds. And it is showing all the rows. Now next example is selecting some rows and all columns by using .iloc. So the only change which we have to do is, instead of passing the column list, we have to pass the colon over there. So here we have to pass the first parameter as the list of index values which we want to show, that is the number of rows. So here you can observe the output. It is showing 3 rows which we have selected within first parameter and all the columns which are present in the dataset. Now the next example is to select all rows and all columns. So same we have to do as we have done in the .loc, that is we have to pass colon in place of rows and columns. So here it is showing all the rows and all the columns by using .iloc. So I hope you have got how we can perform this selection operation on rows and columns of a dataset. In the further videos, we'll see how we can perform the addition, deletion and renaming operation on rows and columns which are present in a dataset. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please do subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for further videos as well. Thank you.